Are you ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? I don't know. Am I ready for this? I don't know. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Shelby. I usually have an accomplice here. Her name is Jenna. That's why the channel is called Jenna and Shelby. But because of everything going on in this world, we're not really together, so it's just been me lately. Today I'm going to be covering something a little bit different than what this channel is normally about, but it's something that I feel like we should still definitely talk about. So obviously, I'm not oblivious to everything that's going on in this world, and I know that you aren't either. I'm not going to get super deep into it because that's not what this video is about. But all I'm going to say is take some time to educate yourself about it, gain some perspective, put yourself in somebody else's shoes before you're so quick to judge how someone might be acting or how people are going about certain things. Think about it from their side before you're so quick to judge. I will never understand being treated differently or looked at differently or threatened because of the color of my skin. No matter how much I try, I know that I'm never going to understand that, and I'm so sorry that people still are having to go through that. But just know that I am very, very proud of the people who are speaking up on it and taking a stand and doing things to bring it to light and to talk about it, and they're not afraid to talk about it. And to the people who are going to marches and protests and everything, I'm so proud of you. If you're going to marches and protests, please be safe. Don't go if you want to go. I'm not saying don't go, but you know as well as I do, you've seen it. It can get dangerous and it can get scary, so be safe. Go with a group of people if you can. I retweeted a tweet that you can go look at, and it's basically almost like a survival guide of going to protests, so it gives you a lot of good tips. So just if you're going to go to a march or a protest, make sure that you're prepared for things and that you're not just going in there blindly. Today I'm going to be talking about how to manage anxiety and give you some tips on how to calm yourself down and self-soothe and things that you can do when you literally feel like the entire world is crumbling around you, because that's kind of what it feels like right now. I've dealt with anxiety since I was 13 years old. I've had ups and downs with it. I feel like everybody's kind of like that, where sometimes you'll have good months and you'll be like, I'm cured, and then something will happen and you'll be like, never mind. I've gotten better about managing it, and also I've gotten better about just knowing my limits, I guess. Now I've just realized that there are things that I know that if I put myself in that position, it's not going to end well for me. But anyway, we're done talking about me. This is about helping you. So first things first, I want to say that you're not alone. Right now, 2020 is like the scariest year ever. And for a lot of people that are like my age, this is the craziest thing that we've ever witnessed in our entire life. So I just want you to know that you're not the only one that's feeling really scared and really nervous and anxious and all of those crazy feelings. You're not the only one feeling them. Literally in the past 24 hours, I think I've cried 4 different times. And also, anxiety is nothing to be ashamed about. Anxiety is your brain just going into like survival mode, and it just happens to be triggered a lot easier than certain other people's brains are. Like, it's literally just like our fight or flight mode, but some people like me just have that fight or flight 24/7. That was one of my hardest things when I was younger. I was like, I hated myself for having anxiety, and now I'm just kind of like, you know, it's something that I have to deal with. Like, this is how my brain is. There's nothing wrong with you for having anxiety. It's just something that your brain has. It's something that you have to deal with, and that's all there is. That you shouldn't feel ashamed for having anxiety. But I have a water with cucumbers in it because I felt bougie. Okay, so now that my soapbox and everything, all the preface stuff is out of the way, let's start getting into tips. So tip number 1 is write. I feel like everybody goes through a phase where they're like, I'm gonna write a journal, I'm gonna write a diary, and nobody ever actually keeps up with it. So, a couple of things that you can write about is about how you feel, because that is like one of the best things for me is when I'm feeling really, really, really overwhelmed, I'll just start writing. And it's almost like you got the opportunity to talk to someone, but a lot of times when I'm in the middle of an almost anxiety attack or I'm just really overwhelmed with anxiety, I don't like talking to people because in my anxious brain, I've convinced myself that I'm a burden to people and that they don't want to hear anything that I have to say, which is not true. But what I can do is I can just write everything. You can just let it all out. And then after, you can just kind of take a deep breath and, okay, you got it out and you're good. The next thing that I have is listening to music. If you know anything about me, I depend on music for everything. I don't have access to a lot of other things that might help you, and so music is my way of giving myself therapy, basically. All I gotta say is listen to music, have a dance party in your room, dance like nobody's watching, and you're just jamming along to your music, and you don't care, and you're screaming, and you're dancing, and having a good time, and your serotonin levels go up so freaking high because you're just like living life. It just takes your mind off of things. It gives you a good time, and you're not thinking about everything that's like going wrong because you're just having a good time in your room dancing along to your music. Also, by the way, I have like a list of everything right here, so if I keep looking down, I'm making sure that I'm hitting all the points that I want to hit. The next thing, plan for your future. Listen, I have a folder that is quickly becoming thicker and thicker of different things that I've had to plan for my future. One of the biggest things that I have a really hard time with is fear of the future. And being able to plan your future and have like a, this is what I'm gonna do, then this is what I'm gonna do, it just like releases that pressure, gives you a, okay, you're okay, everything's gonna be okay. Because as a teenager, that's like all you're thinking about, especially when you're in high school. It's like, what college are you going to go to? What's your career? What's this? What's that? And half the time you don't have the answer. Like, I was the senior in high school that had no idea what college she was going to. Literally made her decision like probably a week before she graduated high school. In all senior year, it's like, what college are you going to go to? What are you majoring in? What about this and what about that? And I was just like, I don't know. Even if that future doesn't actually come true, you can be like, well, this is a plan that I might have, you know. It might not actually happen, but it's kind of like a backup plan even. So, I don't know. Planning my future is like one of my favorite pastimes. Half of the futures won't ever happen, but it's like nice to think about. Okay, so number 4 is get on a schedule, on a daily schedule. So I forced myself to get on a schedule and to actually get enough sleep and to get things done and to eat right. And this is literally, I have this piece of paper on my bedroom door, and then I have all of these times built into my alarms on my phone. I now have that. I'll like take a picture of this. I don't know. I'll do something with it. I'll make it a PDF and y'all can print it out if you want, or use it as like a guide or something. I don't know. But it's just like an easy thing that just like keeps you doing stuff. I don't know, it's just something to keep you on a track of, okay, this is what I'm doing now and this is what I'm doing now. And I also have gotten myself to be on like a 9 to 5 schedule of, from 9 to 5 I'm doing stuff because that's like a normal work schedule. Number 5. When I watch TV shows, I get very, 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 very invested in them, and I care about the characters a lot. And so when I'm watching a new TV show and I don't know what's happening, I will literally feel my heartbeat start beating faster, and I'll start getting shaky and like sick to my stomach because I get so invested in TV shows. I've heard that happens to a lot of people that have anxiety, that new TV shows will spike their anxiety a lot because they don't know what's coming. So my tip is to rewatch TV shows because you already know what's gonna happen. So it doesn't like affect you as much, but it's still entertaining to you. And if you're like me and care about the characters a lot, it's almost like you're hanging out with your friends again. Like you've missed your friends and you're hanging out with them again. However, do not sit there and watch it for the rest of your life, because then that's bad for your mental health too, because now you're on yourself for just wasting the day away, and then you're hating on yourself. So just don't do it. It's a bad cycle. Don't watch TV all day. So yeah, rewatch TV shows, because it gives you some entertainment, gives you something to do, but you're not scared the entire time. So it's nice. It's a win-win. The next thing is to talk to someone who understands what you're going through. I have a couple of friends that have anxiety and have dealt with anxiety as well. And so it's really nice to talk to people that actually know what you're going through, because no one in my family has ever dealt with anxiety like I do. And so even if I'm talking to them about it, they don't get it. To be able to talk to friends that actually understand what you're going through. Actually, if you watch my last video with the watermelon sugar, Sophia that I talked about, the fashion designer, she talks a lot about anxiety on her blog, and because it's something that she's dealt with for a very long time. And it's so nice to talk to her about it, because she's very educated on it. She's done a lot of research on it, and I have too, but not as much. So she's very knowledgeable about anxiety. And so if I'm talking to her, she is able to put it into a logical sense in my head, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense that my mind would work like that. What I'm meaning is, it's nice because she knows how my brain works, and so it's just really nice because you can just be like, hey, my anxiety's been really bad, and they remind you of things that you're just like, okay, yeah, you're right. They'll be the ones that are basically doing what I'm doing for you. They'll be the ones that are like, well, have you done this? Have you done that? And then I'm just like, oh, you're right. I need to do that first. Because when you're having a bad anxiety day, you don't give yourself good advice. And so it's nice for someone to remind you of things that you already know, you're just not thinking about it. Through all of this, through the virus, through everything politically, through everything that is going on in this world right now, educate yourself about it. Don't just be completely blind to it. Keep up to date with different updates. However, don't absorb yourself in social media. First of all, because a lot of things you see on social media aren't real. Second of all, a lot of times social media will cling to things, and that is all you will see repetitively. As important as it might be that they're talking about it, if you have anxiety about the situation and that's all you see page after page, it just spikes your anxiety even more. So stay off social media as much as you can. The next thing is literally just take care of yourself. Eat the right food. I know it's easy to eat junk food because it's good. However, I also am I make sure I eat good food throughout the day. You can help your anxiety a lot by your diet, and I'm not very educated on it, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this is what you need to eat and this is what you don't need to eat. But I'm very aware that your diet does play a very big part in your mental health. I'm not saying that eat your fruits and vegetables and you'll be cured, but it's gonna help. If you feel good physically, your mental health is going to get better. Take care of yourself, eat right, get enough sleep. And another thing of taking care of yourself, literally just do something that makes you feel confident. Something that I struggle with a lot is body image. I'm getting better sometimes, but it is something that I deal with a lot. Number one thing about body image issues that I'm trying to tell myself is I'm not here to look good for somebody else. So do something that makes you feel good. Wear cute clothes, even if you're not going anywhere. Just put them on. It makes you feel good. It feels like you're accomplished something. Put on some makeup if you want to wear some makeup. If you want to put extra effort into your appearance, you can do that and still just stay at home. So that is the take care of yourself. Do what makes you feel confident. Eat right. Get a good sleep. The next thing is it sounds stupid, however, it helps a lot, is daydreaming. And it sounds so stupid, I know. So there's a very fine line of daydreaming about things and about how you want your life to be and about all of that, because that's all very positive and very good, because like it's kind of the same thing of speaking it into existence, you know. If you see yourself doing something a lot, then you're more than likely going to do it. Things like that. However, do not cross the line that I cross very often of hyperfixating on something, and that's all you want to think about, because you're using it to avoid all of your mental problems and all of the real world problems, because it scares you and it's a lot to handle. So, daydream all that you want. However, don't hyperfixate, because then that's when it becomes a problem. And I will be the first one to admit that I hyperfixate on things a lot, because it's easier to think about things that I enjoy than to think about things that make you uncomfortable. However, in order to grow and to become a better person, you have to think about the uncomfortable. One of my last tips for you if you're dealing with anxiety is, if you have the opportunity to, take a drive. I love driving a lot. However, if you're not, right now, when you can't really like go to stuff, it sometimes feels weird to just drive. However, it is very fun, because it almost feels like for at least, 30 minutes, an hour, that you're just running away from everything. And it sounds really bad, but it's like super freeing, okay? And it kind of tricks your brain into feeling like you're free from all of the BS that you had to deal with. Jamming in my car, having a good time, living life, windows rolled down, blaring music, and I was just driving. Low-key in the middle of nowhere. It was kind of sketchy, but at the same time, I was like, this is so much fun. So, if you have the opportunity to, take a long drive. It's really nice. It puts a smile on your face. You get really, happy. And even if it's for a short time, it makes your anxiety go down because you're happy. And so you're not really thinking about all the things of the world ending. I'm sorry, I have a ghost. And it sounded like they were crossing a boundary. I know that the world is freaking crazy right now. I've literally cried over how the world is like 4 different times in the past 24 hours. So I get it. But you're not alone. A lot of people are feeling the same way that you're feeling, me included. And if you don't know who to talk to, if you feel like you don't have anybody to go to, DM me. My Instagram DMs are open, and if you need help, you need just somebody to rant to, or if you need tips, or if you're going through something that you don't really want to talk to your parents about, or whatever, DM me, okay? I will try and help you the best that I can. I'm not a miracle worker. I'm not like the smartest human alive, but I will try and help you, and if I don't know how to help you, I will get some advice from somebody else and share it with you. Anxiety is horrible and I hate it, but it's something that a lot of people have to deal with. And if you're one of those people, you're very strong for going through it. It is not a weakness. You're not a weak human being because you have anxiety. It is just a thing that you have to deal with. But with that, I will see y'all next time. And, I don't know. I think that's about it. Yeah. Check out my last video. I turned myself into a watermelon sugar music video. Bye. All those cucumbers are they're sinking. Why are you sinking? You're supposed to be cute and floating, and you just sink to the bottom. I'm betrayed. I feel very betrayed right now. It's fine, I guess. Okay, well, goodbye.